Everything's looking crazy, a storm on the horizon. The pressure is low, gotta get moving, put on a show. The news is all buzzing, state of alert, but we've got a plan, we're ready to work. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. See a little fire or a rising flood, we're a well-oiled machine, we're running in the mud. From the city hall meetings to the rescue teams, turning worst case scenarios into hopeful dreams. We're training the people, we're stocking the gear, we're the team you can count on when trouble is near. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the face. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. It's more than a job, it's a calling, you see. Prepared for the present and what's yet to be. Every second counts, we're ready to react for our communities. We're making an impact. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. Yeah, we're picking you up, we're ready to go. EMA, let's get this show on the road.
Let's get this show on the road, guys. Shall we do this? I think we shall. Emergency Management Associates, guys, we're on the air for you almost 7 days a week, on the air Monday through Friday from about 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. We come on the air, and we're usually on the air about an hour to an hour and a half now, sometimes longer when there's a big story to talk about. Tonight, we're going to make it short and sweet. I don't feel up to it. I don't feel up to a long show tonight, so we're going to make it very short and sweet for everybody. Now, we're going to be talking about earthquakes, guys. Don't get me wrong, we're going to be talking about earthquakes, but I have something else to talk about, okay? There is an APB issued. There has been an all points bulletin issued for a groundhog. Yeah, groundhog, guys. Guess what? Punxsutawney Phil had a warrant issued for his arrest. Yeah, warrant issued for his arrest, guys. Guess what happened? You're going to like this. You're going to love this, guys. The suspect is at large. Little Elm Police Department has officially issued a warrant for Punxsutawney Phil's arrest after he showed his shadow and promised 6 more weeks of winter, 6 more weeks of winter. Phil is wanted for knowingly prolonging the cold, misleading the public. Anyone with information about his whereabouts is asked to contact LEPD immediately. Consider this fair warning. Phil, the longer winter sticks around, the closer we get. Punxsutawney Phil, a warrant has been issued for your arrest. Be advised, you're a hunted groundhog. You are a hunted groundhog. Now with that, that's not all, folks. There's more. There's more about the story. Wait till you hear this. Okay? I just love this. I absolutely love this. Goes a lot further. Goes a lot further, guys. Guess what's going to happen? Okay? Yes, he's probably going to be arrested. He's probably going to be arrested, guys. But that's not all, folks. There's more. Okay? Good old Puxatawny Phil. He's going to be ending up on the grill. Puxatawny Phil is going to end up on the grill, guys. No joke. No joke. Adventuring Mike just gave us a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Adventuring Mike. We appreciate that. God bless you for that. Unreal. Now, going over to Puxatawny Phil again. Warrant's been issued for his arrest. Crazy enough. That's crazy enough for that. But it's not over. Not over. I had something else here. In fact, I know I have it here. Just a second. Where did I go to here? Let's see here. Sorry about that, guys. I'm going to get it together here in just a second. This is crazy. Okay, this is it. Again, Puxatawny Phil has a warrant issued for his arrest. Groundhog Day reminds me about how little control I have over my life. A beaver-looking creature with no job decides the weather. A beaver-looking creature decides the weather. My phone decides my mood. And one weird text can ruin my whole darn week. Every year, we all agree to take advice from a fat, underground, overfed rat who comes up but once every year, panics, and then disappears again. That's like asking me for financial advice because I once paid a bill on time by accident. Now, if Puxatawny Phil was honest, he'd pop out and say, yeah, man, it's going to be kind of crappy for a little while. Emotional, too. But then the crash, bang, and it happened. He crawled back into his underground nest like a rat, like the rest of us do every Monday morning. Yeah, every Monday morning, we all crawl back into the rack, back into our little rat's nest. Okay? In this case, Puxatawny Phil wouldn't just shut up, wouldn't just tell us the truth, be honest, and say, yeah, man, it's going to be kind of crappy for a few days or a week or several weeks. But this time, he says 6 weeks of longer crappy weather. Yeah. Yeah. Unreal. That could ruin everybody's week. That could ruin everybody's several months. Like I said, that's like asking me financial advice because I accidentally paid a bill on time. Go figure. Go figure. But guys, yeah, that's about it. Okay? That's about it. Now, let's get off of Puxatawny Phil. I hate to do this, guys. Let's get away from Puxatawny Phil for a little bit. Okay? Yes, I made fun of him earlier last week, about Friday last week, when I said that he was coming. Yeah, he's coming. He's here. He's done his thing. Done his thing. Now, guys, we're going to let him go. Okay? Yes, we're going to have a little bit of bad weather. Actually, it's going to be a lot worse. Hate to say that. All the weather forecasters that I've consulted, every forecast remains the same, but we're going to get some bad weather later this week. It's going to happen. Okay. We reported on the bad weather that hit the East Coast this past weekend. We came on the air and told you about it on Friday. We came on the air Saturday and told you about it. Yes, I decided I wasn't going to come on there because the bad weather stopped. Bad weather stopped. It stopped snowing. It completely stopped snowing. But I talked to our buddy Rich up in Nova Scotia last night. Still snowing. The same kind of storm that hit the East Coast on Friday night, Saturday morning went north, just like I said it was going to. Followed the coast up the coast all the way up in Nova Scotia. They got the snow and the cold. Okay? That snow and cold is going to happen again this week. Okay? Be advised. Get ready. It's going to happen. Renee Sevi says tornado season is about to begin. Things are going to get a little dicey in the Southwest and the Southern states. Yeah, you're right. Eventually, Mike says about a foot of snow. Yeah, it's going to happen. Right now, the snow is melting. I can confirm that. The snow is melting somewhat. Last night, I went out and chopped up ice, and I shoveled snow for about 40 minutes. I got too tuckered out. Okay? How many times last week did I say, go help your elderly neighbors shovel snow? How many times? Get this man right here went out and shoveled snow last night. Okay? We had 7 inches of snow on the ground. We had 3 inches of ice underneath that. I knocked out most of the ice and I got the snow off the sidewalks and off our patio. So we had a walkway to get out of our patio. Crazy. Crazy. We did that. But guys, it's not going to stop. We're going to get more snow. We're going to get more ice and bad weather as well. Okay? We're going to report on that as it happens. Okay? Now, before I get going on much more, I want to show you something else. Okay? We had a solar flare last night, yesterday. This is what the solar disk looked like. This is the GOES-19 satellite photo, okay, of the sun. This is prior to the X1 class flare, prior to the X3 class flare, prior to the X8 class flare. There are 4 X class flares since last night and noon today. More will probably be coming. I can't say that for sure, but we believe it could not possibly stop right now. I can stop right now. Let me show you the next slide here, right here. This is what the GOES-19 photograph looked like just after 4 seconds after the satellite started snapping pictures of the X8 class flare. The X8 class flare, guys. This is what it looked like. You might ask, what is that middle disk in the middle of the photo? That's what they call the occulter disk. That disk is on the outside of the satellite that protects the main satellite from being burned by the solar flare. The heat and the brightness of the solar flare could burn out the satellite if that occulter disk wasn't there. Okay? Now, we are going to see more solar flares. It always happens. Now, we have a solar flare coming from the sunspot 4366, up in the upper left-hand corner of your screen there. Solar sunspot 4366. This is where the X-class flares are coming from. Okay? Next, look at this. I'm going to take you on a little journey here. Not a long journey, but I want to show you what's happened. There's been 4 X-class flares. Let's start with the one last night. 10:02 UTC, M6.6. That was a medium-class flare. That was a medium-class flare. We get all kinds of M-class and C-class flares all the time. Next, we had an M2.8, then an M6.7. Then we had X1.0. X-class flares are the most serious and more dangerous kind of solar flares. Okay? Then we had an M5.8, an M5.1. Then we had the X8.1, then an X2.8. Then we had a M4.4, then an M5.2, then an M3.0, then another X1.6. That was the largest one. That was the fourth largest one. Then we had an M6.7, an M4.0, an M2.3, M2.4, and then an M.29. Okay? We've had 4 X-class flares. The worst one was an X8.1. X8.1. Okay? Now, when we have these kinds of solar flares, what do we expect to happen? Can anybody tell me what we expect to happen from these solar flares? We get earthquakes, don't we? Earthquakes and other things happen here on this earth as a result of that solar radiation, that plasma radiation. The X-ray part of that X8.1 has already hit the earth earlier this morning, way early this morning. Okay? Now, we may see the rest of the plasma radiation hit the earth by probably tomorrow. Probably tomorrow going into Wednesday. I don't think it will last until Wednesday, but I think it will probably happen tomorrow. Okay? What does that mean? That means we're going to expect more earthquakes. More earthquakes. We've had 4 X-class flares here. Yes, we've had some M-class and we've had some C-class as well. But these X-class flares pack a punch. They pack a punch. I believe we're going to see more earthquakes. A lot more earthquakes. Now, what have we had already? Let's look at the earthquakes we've had already. Okay? Let's go to the USGS map. Okay? I'm first going to take down our EMA banner. I'm going to take down a webcam here. I want to show you what we had. I have the map here over just east of San Francisco Bay, San Ramon, California. San Ramon, California. Why do I have this up? Because earlier today, we had a 4.5 earthquake, a moderate 4.5 magnitude earthquake here. I've got it highlighted here in blue. Now it shows a 4.2. They downgraded this stupid earthquake to a 4.3, then continued to downgrade it to a 4.2. That's what USGS does best. This is not the only time they've downgraded the earthquakes. This is the second 4.5 moderate earthquake we've had here in San Ramon, California, east of San Francisco Bay. Look at all the other earthquakes we've had here. Aftershocks. Aftershocks, ladies and gentlemen. These red earthquakes that you see on the map are aftershocks that just happened in the last little while. Usually they stay red for about 30, 45 minutes after they've happened. This one further to the south. This was a 2.1, 2 miles north of Dublin, California. We go north here. Smack dab in the middle of these ones to the south of San Ramon. This is a 1.7 tremor. This is a 1.8 tremor. This is a 1.5 tremor. There are 2.0s to 2.9. We have a few 3.0 to 3.5 here as well. This is a 2.5 minor earthquake here. This is a 3.1. Okay? We've seen this happen before.
Japan, class, light, magnitude, 4.4, 9 minutes ago.
Okay? We just had another earthquake northeast of Honshu, Japan. Those are aftershocks of a 7.1 earthquake that hit there about a month or so ago. Those aftershocks are continuing off the coast of Honshu, Japan. They're not going to stop anytime soon. Whenever we have a major earthquake, the aftershocks last for a very long time. Very long time. That's why it's happening off of Honshu, Japan right now. Let me quiet this device's volume so it doesn't keep happening. Okay? I want to talk about these earthquakes, but I don't want any interruptions here. Look at all these aftershocks. 4.5 earthquake hits, and we have this many aftershocks. And the USGS downgrades these earthquakes to the middle part of it if they can. That's what they're good at. Making sure people don't realize exactly how strong these earthquakes are. Heaven forbid they tell us the truth. Heaven forbid they tell us the truth. This earthquake here's a 2.2. This earthquake here's another 2.2. This earthquake is a 3.8. Okay? All around San Ramon, California. This is going to continue, guys. This is going to continue. We've had a lot of earthquakes here. They're going to continue. As I said before, this whole area of San Francisco Bay is ripe for a major shake. It's ripe for a major shake. Okay? We have not had a decent sized earthquake, and I'm talking about I shouldn't say decent size because that gives off the wrong sentiment I want to talk about. We haven't had a very dangerous earthquake here in San Francisco Bay since 1989. We're well overdue. We're 37 years past due. 37 years past due. Okay? We're going to see another major earthquake here in the San Francisco Bay very soon. I'm just putting the warning voice out. It's going to happen. It's literally when. We don't know when. We don't know when. We go up to the southern Cascadia subduction area. Nothing here. Nothing here that they want to tell us about. There's nothing here in the lower part of the Cascadia subduction zone region that they want to tell us about. Because they don't want us to know what's going on. There are earthquakes here. There are all kinds of earthquakes here. We go up north here, just east of the Cascadia subduction zone here, just east of Cannon Beach, Oregon, a 2.3 earthquake here. The USGS is not showing us most of the earthquakes at all. They could, but this entire map would be populated by earthquakes. We have 2.3s here. We have 3.0s. We have 1.0, 1.9 tremors. We have 4.5 earthquakes around the volcanoes. And they don't want us to know about it. They don't want to talk about it. Heaven forbid. Let's go over here, okay? What am I showing you here? Mount Rainier National Park. Mount Rainier volcano. Northwest of Mount Rainier here. This is 8 miles southeast of Carbonado, Washington. This is a 0.8 microquake. That's all fine and good. But again, this is not the only microquake here. I could show you the seismogram from Carbonado, Washington. It would show you all kinds of microquakes. It would show you all kinds of tremors. It would even show you some minor earthquakes here in Carbonado. But again, USGS does not want you to see that. Just west of Mount Rainier right here, USGS will not ever identify the exact location of most of these earthquakes. Heaven forbid. Instead, they try to identify these earthquakes in relationship to other cities. Here we have a 0.4 microquake, 7 miles northeast of Ashford, Washington. Interesting. This is in the foothills of Mount Rainier. It is nowhere near Ashford, Washington. This is actually in the foothills of Mount Rainier. But heaven forbid, USGS would tell us that. They do not want to identify earthquakes around the volcanoes. They don't want anybody to know what's going on here. I've identified these volcanoes before as trouble spots. I have identified these volcanoes as a possible eruption here. A possibility of an eruption in the very near future. Both Mount Rainier and Mount St. Helens to the south. Today here at Mount St. Helens are not showing a darn thing. That's because, again, they don't want anybody to know what's going on. There are plenty of earthquakes here at Mount St. Helens as well. But heaven forbid they talk about it. Heaven forbid they talk about it. The only other earthquake they're showing here is over here, southwest of Puget Sound region. Guess what? This is at Oakville, Washington. Near Oakville, Washington, just outside of Oakville, Washington, 1 mile northeast of Oakville, Washington. Guess what it is? Guess what this is? An explosion. An explosion, guys. Let me show you something. Look again where this earthquake is. This is not an explosion. Anytime USGS decides that they want to call something other than an earthquake, they call it an explosion. Again, I've done the research. There is no way in heck that this was an explosion. No one is reporting an explosion near Oakville, Washington at all. No one. This is a 1.2 tremor here. This is a 1.2 tremor here. USGS is always calling these explosions. They're not. They are not explosions at all. They are, however, spontaneous combustus carnivorous, an exploding tree. We can call them exploding trees for lack of a better word. That was a tremor here, a 1.2 tremor here, an earthquake. an earthquake here. Again, I want to give my thanks to my buddy Demon Catman for giving us this meme. This is a great meme. Okay, spontaneous combustus carnivorous. Exploding tree here in Washington State. It's in a forest. Smack dab smart in a forest. They want to call it an exploding tree. Come on, USGS. I've got your number again, and again, and again, and again. All over Washington, all over Oregon, we have earthquakes. Literally earthquakes all over both states. We have earthquakes down in California as well. This earthquake off the coast of Cannon Beach, Oregon, right here, it's in the Cascadia subduction zone. This is the third earthquake in a week here near the beach area of Oregon. Third one in the Cascadia subduction zone region. Yes, guys, we are in the Cascadia region. We are on the lookout for a major Cascadia earthquake. We are on the lookout for a major Cascadia earthquake that's going to happen probably within the next 5 years. 5 years. I don't think it's going to go much longer than that. Okay? It's going to happen. It's a matter of time. Matter of time. Let's go over here to Alaska. I just love Alaska, don't you? We have some earthquakes here in Alaska. Down here in the Gulf. This is a 2.1 earthquake down here. We go up to Kodiak Island. We have a 2.8 minor earthquake here. Kodiak Island. Further south over here in the North Atlantic, off the coast of Ukashik, Alaska, this is a 2.9. 2.9 earthquake. We go up here. I just love this. I get a kick out of this. Old Ililama volcano. Over here to the east, we have a 1.5 tremor. Just south of the volcano here, we have a 1.3 tremor. Northwest of the volcano, a 0.8 microquake. Now, guys, there are other earthquakes here, but again, the USGS does not want us to know it. Because again, this is a volcano. Yes, the volcano itself has not erupted for a very long time. Hundreds of, if not thousands of years here. But we have had a lot of seismic activity here in the past. Past days, past weeks, past months, and past years. All the volcanoes worldwide are recharging. Recharging here, guys. Don't forget that word recharging. Don't forget the word recharging. I don't know why the map did that. Right here. Allsworth, Alaska. Allsworth, Alaska. South of Mount Redoubt. Mount Redoubt volcano is right here. South of Mount Redoubt over here near Port Allsworth. 44 miles east of Port Allsworth. Isn't that interesting? 2.5 minor earthquake. 2.5 minor earthquake. Going over here to Anchorage to give you some kind of clarity where these earthquakes are. Over here across the pond here, okay, across the Cook Inlet here, we have a 2.1 earthquake here near Beluga, Alaska. Going north here, 2.2 earthquake here. Going north here, this is a 2.0 earthquake. Let's just go northeast of Anchorage here for a minute. This is a 2.4 near Chickaloo, Alaska. 2.4, 28 miles south-southeast of Chickaloo, Alaska. Okay? Right just south and east of there. 3 earthquakes in a line. 3 earthquakes in a line here. This is the 1.5 tremor, 34 miles south of Glacier Peak, or Glacier View, Alaska. This is a 1.7, and this is a 1.9, 2.0. South of there, 1.8, near Tadlock, Alaska. Here's another 1.8 here. Fascinating, huh? Absolutely is. Now, just for kicks and giggles, I want to go over here to the west side of Denali National Park. Right here. This is a 2.2 minor earthquake. But interesting to know, as I said before, USGS is showing this as southeast of Denali National Park. This is north of Denali National Park, not southeast of Denali National Park. Again, USGS does not want us to recognize exactly where these earthquakes are, but we can clearly see where these earthquakes are. It is USGS that keeps lying to the public, keeps deceiving the public. This has been going on for years now. I've been pointing this out for years. USGS says it's southeast of Denali. Never is. It's north of Denali National Park. This earthquake here is at 3.5. 3.5 small quake. East of Denali National Park, or west of Denali National Park. USGS is saying it is southeast of Denali. It's not. You can clearly see where it's at. North of Denali National Park. We have earthquakes further north here. 1.3 tremor near Clear, Alaska. Clear, Alaska here. Right here. This is 1.8 tremor here. This is a 2.6 earthquake here. Okay? Almost straight east. This is a 1.2 tremor here. This is a 1.1 tremor. Right here. Right here, guys. Where does it say it's at? North of Fairbanks, Alaska. North of Fairbanks, Alaska. USGS is trying to tell us this 6 miles east of Fox, Alaska. Bullcrap. Bullcrack. This is northeast of Fairbanks. 1.1 tremor here, northeast of Fairbanks, Alaska. I just love proving USGS wrong. They can't get it right. This one is near Minto, Alaska here. 1.2 tremor here near Minto, Alaska. Okay. Now I expand this to show you this. We have no earthquakes whatsoever, no tremors or minor earthquakes either, north or on the Arctic Circle. No earthquakes near or on the Arctic Circle here. Nothing. Nothing, and that's a good thing. Over here in Southeast Alaska. Southeast Alaska here. Look at this. The reason I want to show you this is because they don't have a clue. They're showing us one earthquake here. A 2.5 earthquake here. Allegedly 53 miles northeast of Yakutat, Alaska. Interesting to know. It is not the only earthquake here. It is not the only earthquake here. Guys, why are we having earthquakes here? Because almost 2 months ago, we had a 7.0 earthquake here. Now we are still seeing aftershocks. We're going to see aftershocks here for a very long time. We're going to see aftershocks here for a very long time. Again, heaven forbid, USGS could tell us the truth about anything. About anything. Over here on the southeast side of Kamchatka Peninsula, another aftershock here. This is a 4.5 earthquake off the coast of Kamchatka Peninsula, Russia. This is an aftershock of a 7.8, actually, aftershock of a 7.8, an 8.8, which was actually a 9.4 earthquake here 3 months ago. Yes, a 9.4 earthquake here 3 months ago. Before that, a 7.8. They tried calling that 8.8 and 8.8. It was a 9.4 earthquake. At that time, I showed you the documentation to prove that it was a 9.4 earthquake. Again, USGS cannot tell us the truth at all. I've been watching earthquakes for years now. I've been watching earthquakes come and go. I've been using various sources for information. This is that earthquake they just told us about here off the coast of Honshu, Japan. This is a 4.8 earthquake here. 4.8 earthquake. Now, I don't want to take the time to diagnose if this was a large earthquake or not. Right now, I'm going to just take their benefit of the doubt, or giving them the benefit of the doubt that this is a 4.8 earthquake. Just came out. Okay? Maybe I'll take a look at it later and I'll tell you tomorrow whether it was a 4.8 or not. I want to go down here into Indonesia. There are 46 earthquakes here in Indonesia. They're showing us one earthquake. This is a travesty. It's called lying to the public. Out and out lying to the public. An omission of the truth. This is a 4.5 moderate earthquake. 4.5 moderate earthquake here east of Java, Indonesia. 19 miles northeast of Labuan, Lombok, Indonesia. Okay? 5 years ago, we had an 8.8/9.0 earthquake in this area. Caused a tsunami. Killed a lot of people here. Today we have a 4.5 earthquake here. right between the islands here. Now, this does not surprise me one little bit. We have all kinds of earthquakes in this region, all kinds of earthquakes. These are going to continue to happen here. You notice that earthquake fault right there? That red line there? That is, excuse me, that's the edge of the plate. That is the edge of the plate. However, further to the south, we have another edge of the plate right there. 7 different tectonic plates come into play here. 7 different tectonic plates come into play in this region, in the southern Pacific Ocean. 7 different tectonic plates here come into play. One tectonic plate is subducting under the other here. One tectonic plate is subducting on the other. That should come as no surprise to anyone. By subduction, I want to show you this. One plate subducting under the other just like this. The plate is subducting going underneath the other plate like this. Okay? When that happens, it causes earthquakes. Subduction causes earthquakes. This is the largest subduction area of the world. This is the largest subduction area in the world. Between Samoa and Tonga, Fiji down into New Zealand, the Legacy Islands, Vanuatu, the Solomon Islands, Papua New Guinea, Papua Indonesia, Australia, all of Indonesia, going over here in the Southeast Asia, Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, this whole area here, Hong Kong, Taiwan, going further over here into Japan, further over here in Japan, 7 different tectonic plates subducting one under the other, causing earthquakes. As I've explained several times in the past few years, a few years ago I had a woman from Indonesia write me, sent me an email, asked me, why, Ron, are we having earthquakes here in Indonesia? I simply explained the process of tectonic plate subduction. One plate going under the other plate just like this, causing these earthquakes. That is the reason they're having 46 earthquakes here today. But again, are they showing us that? Hell no. Hell no. They will never admit to what is actually going on. Because if they did, they would have to admit that something else is going to happen. Each one of these earthquakes is very significant. It is a foreshock of a much larger earthquake. It's a foreshock of a much larger earthquake, guys. That's what's actually happening here. We need to remember what we're being taught here. We need to remember what we're being taught here. Okay? You could take a high school or college geology course that will give you the same information over years, over a period of years. I'm showing you this in real time. Let's go over here north of India. North of India here. What do we have here, guys? This is a 4.8 earthquake. 4.8 earthquake over here in northern India. Northern India. Why are we having these earthquakes? Why are we having these earthquakes? What is that fault zone there? There is a fault zone going over from Burma over to the northeast side of India, going through the Himalaya mountains, leading us over where this earthquake here is in India, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Tajikistan, and Kazakhstan, and China. This seismic energy comes from Indonesia down here. Comes from down here in the subduction area. Every one of these earthquakes down here in this region go up the edge of the plate. They follow the edge of the plate. The edge of the plate over here in the Burma. Last October, we had a 7.4 earthquake here in Burma, what they call Myanmar now. On the map here, it listed as Burma. It's now called Myanmar. 7.4 earthquake that had killed hundreds of people and injured hundreds more. Yes, energy's gone through here from Indonesia up through Myanmar, up here in the Himalayas, through the Himalaya mountains. We've seen earthquakes here. We've seen seismic energy here. We've seen energy here before coming up into Afghanistan, Tajikistan. Now again, we have a 4.8 earthquake here in northern India on the tectonic plate, on the edge of the plate here. That edge of the plate is going to go further to the northwest here, through Iran, over here through Baghdad, all the way up here to Turkey. See that plate here? See that plate here? Going through the Caspian Sea, up here into Turkey. See that earthquake there? North of the Black Sea here. This is another 4.8 earthquake here in Ukraine. Ukraine, guys. Southern Ukraine, another 4.8 earthquake. But notice this as well. They are still not showing all the earthquakes at all. Not showing all the earthquakes at all. Over here in the Turkey-Syria border region, there are 48 earthquakes here. Aftershocks of an earthquake that hit here 3 years ago. February 3rd, 3 years ago, 2023. 9.0, 10.0 earthquake that hit here. Killed 5,000 people and injured over 5,000 more. They still have earthquakes here. But again, USGS does not want to show them. Northern Turkey and Kard Turkey up here. Multiple quakes up there, 2.0, 2.3, 2.4, 3.5. Southern Turkey, the same thing. Western Turkey, the same thing, right here. Izmir, Bursa, going up to Istanbul, Turkey. Over near Bursa, 100 earthquakes right there. Today, over 100 earthquakes. Why? Number one, look where these earthquakes are. Or look where Bursa is. You don't see the earthquakes here, but I'm telling you, they're there. They're there. Let me bring up my device and show you the earthquakes that are there. I've shown you these earthquakes before. They're very prevalent. They're very prevalent. But again, heaven forbid they tell us what's going on. Look at these earthquakes here. On the European map, they're saying 70 plus. Guess what? There are 100 earthquakes here in northwestern Turkey. Northwestern Turkey, over 100 earthquakes right here. But again, Heaven forbid they show us this. Heaven forbid they show us that. Over 100 earthquakes here. Then earthquakes further along the coastline, over what they call the Dokanese Islands. The Dokanese Islands here. All these islands here in the Aegean Sea belong to Greece. All of these islands belong to Greece. There are earthquakes here. This is the 1.8 tremor here. South of there. This is Izmir, Turkey. 1.6 tremor here. Are they showing that on the map? Heck no. Heck no. Heaven forbid. Heaven forbid. They're not showing us any earthquakes over here in Greece either. The southern coast of Greece, 2.7 earthquake here. 2.7. They're not showing that either. South of the Crete, this is the 2.93.0 on the fault. On the fault. Where does this fault come from? Where does this fault come from south of Crete, Greece? Let's go back east here. See this fault? Continues through the Mediterranean Sea south of Cyprus. Where does it go to? Goes right up here. It's called the Anatolian Fault. The Anatolian Fault. That fault here at the Turkey-Syria border region caused the 9.0, 10.0 earthquake here 3 years ago. 3 years ago. That same earthquake fault goes through down here into the Mediterranean Sea, south of Cyprus, works its way through the Mediterranean here, goes over here south of Crete, Greece, works its way up here on the west side of Greece. West side of Greece here, guys. 24 earthquakes here, guys, in Greece. They're not showing one earthquake here. Not one earthquake. 20 plus earthquakes here, 24 earthquakes here. Interesting. Goes up here in the Ionian Sea here. Up in the Ionian Sea. Then we have another fault zone. Coming off of that. Goes down here into Sicily. Interesting. Interesting. Because right alongside that fault line right here, this is the 1.5 tremor here in Sicily. 1.5 tremor here in Sicily. USGS is not showing that either. The United States Geological Survey is hardly showing anything. Hardly showing anything. Right here, Salerno. We have a 2.7 minor earthquake right there. 2.7 minor earthquake near Salerno, Italy. Not showing that. Now, neither the USGS or the European Agency are showing earthquakes here. There are earthquakes here. I don't know why the USGS or the international agencies or the European Agency is not showing earthquakes here. Why would we have earthquakes here, guys? Why do you think we have earthquakes here? Right here. Vesuvius volcano is right here. Vesuvius volcano is steaming. As I said before, Vesuvius volcano is shaking. It's recharging. It hasn't erupted for thousands of years. Last year it started shaking. 4.5, 4.8, 3.0, 3.5, 4.6, 4.2, on and on here. Small earthquakes, minor earthquakes all around the volcano. The authorities around Vesuvius evacuated portions of these towns. I showed you this before. All around this volcano is huge urbanized area. Huge urbanized area here. San Giuseppe Vesuviano. There are people that live in this area, all around the volcano, to the north, the south, east, and west here. All kinds of people live here. Now, the last time this volcano erupted, thousands of years ago, look over here near Naples, Napoli, Pozzoli. Look at these areas. What are these? What are these holes in the ground? These are vents in the ground from the volcano. These are volcanic vents where, when this volcano erupted, lava flowed out of these vents over to around the surface here. Lava flowed all around these vents. People live here now. People live here now. Now, Mount Vesuvius is going to erupt at some point in time. We don't know when, but it's going to erupt. Last week, all kinds of seismic energy here. All kinds of seismic energy, but did USGS show it? Heck no. Heck no. They don't want to admit what's happening. The Italian authorities had to evacuate more people here. People went crazy. People in some cases are still living in their cars because the earth shakes and they wonder whether their home is going to come down upon them or whether the volcano is going to erupt. That's what's going on. Okay? But again, neither the European map or the USGS is showing what's going on here. Heaven forbid. Heaven forbid here. Going up in north central Italy here. Right here. 20 plus earthquakes here. 20 plus earthquakes. The majority of these earthquakes are 1.0 to 1.9. There are a couple minor 2.0 to 2.9 earthquakes here as well. Swarms of earthquakes happen here every day. Every day this happens. Several weeks ago in this area here, we had a 5.0 earthquake here. A 5.0 earthquake happened here, guys. A 5.0 large earthquake. All of these earthquakes that we're having here are just a symptom of a bigger problem. When we have swarms of earthquakes, what does it mean? It only means that there's a large earthquake incoming. When we have swarms of earthquakes, that means a larger earthquake is incoming. We've had at least 2 to 3 5.0 earthquakes here in the last year. 2 to 3 5.0 large earthquakes here in the last year. It's liable to happen again. Okay? Just to give you an idea, this is a 1.1 tremor here. 1.1 tremor here. Further south, Umbria, Italy. a 0.7 microquake. Okay. Further south, 1.9 2.0 earthquake here. Further south, Abruzzo, Italy, 1.8 tremor. Let's go pretty far north here. I shouldn't say pretty far. Let's go up here to Marche, Italy, M-A-R-C-H-E, Italy, 0.9 microquake. Again, we have microquakes, we have tremors, and minor earthquakes in this area. This area is going to see another 5.0 earthquake here soon. Probably sooner than we expected. Okay. Let's go further north to the west. Tuscany. 1.5 tremor here in Tuscany. Just further to the southwest, Sarzana, Liguria, Italy. 1.7 tremor there. Southwest of Tuscany. Let's go up to the north, just south of the Alps Mountains. Just south of the Alps Mountains here. Solizino, Veneto, Italy. Solizino, Veneto, Italy. A 2.0 earthquake right there. Yes, I can't speak Italian. My brother can. He served as a missionary here in Italy. In Milan, Italy here. See Milan here, Italy here. Hurricane Heather just gave us a $10 super chat. Heather, God bless you, dear. Heather is one of my best family members. Not just because she gives us super chats. That has little to do with it. Heather has been becoming a very close friend of mine, a very dear sister. I love her very dearly. My family loves her. Heather, I just gave you a EMA sticker on your super chat. I'm giving you a thumbs up as well. Thank you, Heather. God bless you. God bless you. Heather says she's got to go walk her pups. She's still listening. We love you, Heather. Thank you for all you do. Now, guys, Heather and Renee, you see here in the chat. Yes, they're both moderators here on this program. They're also weather ladies. They are weather ladies. Both of them put weather information here in the chat. When something's happening, I will put that out here from the chat to let everybody know that's listening to this program, not monitoring either the video or the chat. Okay? They are wonderful ladies. They have a weather background. They're good people. I love them to pieces. Okay? Now let's go up to the Southeast Alps. Southeast Alps. Veneto, Italy. 1.4 tremor here. 1.4 tremor here. Okay? Not to be outdone. Over here on the Alps Mountains here. Lombardy, Italy. Here, a 0.6 tremor, microquake. And just north of there, this is 1.0 tremor here. 0.6 microquake, 1.0 tremor here near Lombardy, Italy. Fascinating. Now, does the USGS show any other earthquakes here? Heck no. They don't want anybody to know what's going on again. 10 plus earthquakes here. 10 plus earthquakes in the southwestern side of the Alps Mountains. Zurich, Milan, Italy. To the north, Seismic, Switzerland, 1.2 tremor here. North of there, also Seismic, TI, Switzerland, 0.9 tremor there as well. Let's go south. Again, these are in the tops of these Alps Mountains here. This is a 0.3 microquake. 0.3 microquake. Over here to the west, a 0.2. Now, guys, look at all the shockers here. I shouldn't say shockers, these are shakers. Shakers. Just to give you an idea. 0.6, 0.6, 1.9 tremor, 0.2 microquake, 1.8. Further south, 1.0, 1.7. And further out here to the west, a 1.5. All these are either tremors or microquakes here in the Alps Mountains. USGS shows nothing. Not a thing. Not a thing. Switzerland, Turtbahn, Switzerland. 1.3 tremor here. Let's go west. 0.8, 0.5. Hermannis, Switzerland. 0.8, 0.5 microquake. Further to the west here, Chamonix, Chamonix, France, 0.9 microquake. Down here further southwest, okay, in the Alps Mountains, Piedmont, Italy. Piedmont, Italy. Here is a 2.2 earthquake. 2.2 minor earthquake here. USGS doesn't show them, do they? Heaven forbid. Going into Germany. Going up here into Germany. Koblenz-Gondorf, Germany. Is 0.8 microquake here. Over into France again. Villeneuve-sur-Cher, France. 2.5 earthquake here. Further south, this is a 2.3. Let's go further northwest here. Cologne-Torres, France. 2.5. Yes, there are earthquakes in France and in Germany and in the Alps Mountains, but you won't see that on the USGS map. Heaven forbid. Now let's go over here to the border of France and Spain here. See the border of France and Spain? Bilbao and Barcelona there. Let's go over to the west side. Mendy, France. 2.1 minor earthquake. Right next to it to the south, a 1.7. Over here to for the south here, Rabi de Freser, Spain, 1.6 tremor. And just north of there, this is Saint-Gilles-Octane, France, 2.6. The border region of France and Spain. Usually we have only 2 earthquakes. Today we have 4. Right along the border of France and Spain. Southern Spain, 2 earthquakes. Southern Spain, here we have 2 earthquakes. Tabernas, Spain, 1.5 tremor here. Further over here to the west, this is over on the eastern side of Gibraltar, the Strait of Gibraltar. Here we have a 2.2 earthquake, 2.2 minor earthquake here. Interesting. Interesting. They are not showing anything else here on the USGS map, nor are they showing it on the European map as well. but the Europeans are showing a lot more than the US. Yet the United States Geological Survey is the preeminent seismic energy of the world. The preeminent seismic energy or agency of the world. Going over here to Iceland. Good old Iceland. Right here. Southeastern Iceland right here. A volcano. A volcano under ice. There's an ice sheet here. Habunga. Habunga volcano. A 2.5 earthquake here. 2.5 earthquake near Habunga volcano here. USGS has not been showing that either. As of late, we've had a lot of earthquakes here in Iceland. Lots of them. Most of these earthquakes are in northwestern Iceland, up here to the north. All the earthquakes that we've been having here are on the Mid-Atlantic Fault. The Mid-Atlantic Fault cuts Iceland literally in half. Cuts Iceland literally in half. And this is where we've had all the earthquakes here this past few days. USGS not showing, are they? Heaven forbid. Heaven forbid. They don't want to admit what's going on here. They don't want to see or have anybody see what's happening. Let's go down here in the South Sandwich Islands here, in the South Atlantic Ocean. Down here, we continue to have earthquakes here in the South Sandwich Islands. As of this last week, we had 3 5.0 large earthquakes here in the South Sandwich Islands. Today, this is a 4.6 moderate earthquake here. 4.6 moderate earthquake. This past week, as we've had earthquakes here in the South Sandwich Islands, we've seen that seismic energy come through the South Mid-Atlantic. We've had large earthquakes here in the South Mid-Atlantic. 5.0s, 5.3s here in the middle and north South Mid-Atlantic. Or I shouldn't say middle north South Atlantic, but the South Atlantic, the middle Atlantic Ocean here, and going up in the north Mid-Atlantic here. What's going on here? Why are we having earthquakes on the Atlantic Ocean, on the Mid-Atlantic Fault? The Mid-Atlantic Fault is expanding like this. The Mid-Atlantic Fault is expanding like this. It's pushing Africa and Europe in an easterly direction. It's pushing South America, Mexico, all of North America, the US and Canada, and Greenland in a south-southwesterly direction. Now again, the USGS is not showing any earthquakes here on the East Coast. None. None. Today, the Europeans are not showing anything either. Not a thing here on the East Coast. There are earthquakes here. I monitor seismic agencies around the world, including here in the US. Every day here along the East Coast, we have earthquakes because the Mid-Atlantic Fault is pushing the North American plate in a south-southwesterly direction. Earthquakes here on the East Coast all day long, every day. 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Only occasionally does the USGS even admit we have earthquakes here. Today, on a fault line, the New Matter fault line here. Today, go figure. Today, Illinois here on the New Madrid. They're showing a 2.0 earthquake here in Illinois, southern Illinois. That's interesting. That's interesting. What have I been showing you for several weeks now? I think it's now the third week going forward. And yes, by Wednesday, I'm going to show you more. Because Wednesday, I'm going to concentrate again on the new fault. Because the new fault is opening up. The new fault is moving in a big fashion. For the past 3 weeks, we've shown earthquakes in Decatur, Illinois. We've shown minor earthquakes and 3.0 earthquakes in Decatur, Illinois. The United States Geological Survey has not shown one. Not a cotton-picking one earthquake at all. Today, they are showing this one earthquake in Valmer, Illinois. 2.0 earthquake here. 2.0 earthquake, they're saying it is 4 miles south-southwest of Valmer, Illinois. Guys, I'm going to tell you this. There are more earthquakes here in Illinois than they're showing here. That's a fact. That's an ongoing fact. Because again, even here in the United States, they don't want to acknowledge what's going on. Heaven forbid. Heaven forbid. Over here, Oklahoma. They're calling this a quarry blast. Another explosion. Let's zoom in here. I want to show you this. They're calling this an explosion. Guys, is this anywhere near that quarry? No, it's not. This earthquake is over a mile away from that quarry. Over a mile away from the quarry. It's not a quarry blast at all. This is a earthquake. This is a 2.0 minor earthquake here. 2.0 minor earthquake here. Why? Why, guys? They are not allowing me to go any closer to that earthquake. But I'm going to show you another map here. The European map is allowing me to go closer here. I want to show you what's exactly going on here. Okay? Number one. This is in a forested area. I don't have any proof. I have absolutely no proof this earthquake could be related to fracking. I have no proof at all because there's no pumps and jacks anywhere near this earthquake. This is not an explosion. It is not, I repeat, it is not a quarry blast. It's not an explosion. It's not a quarry blast. Okay? This is a forested area here. Nowhere even close to that quarry at all. Nowhere close to that quarry at all. But USGS is calling it a quarry blast. Interesting enough. But again, it's not the only earthquake here in Oklahoma. It's not the only earthquake here in Oklahoma. Almost directly west, Dover, Oklahoma. Dover, Oklahoma. We have a 1.56 earthquake, 1.56 tremor here, oil and gas. oil and gas, guys. Oil and gas earthquake. Why? Look at all these oil and gas plots all over the place. If an earthquake is anywhere from 6 to 10 miles away from an oil and gas plot, it is a fracking earthquake. It is a fracking earthquake. Look at this. Not only do we have pumps and jacks, we have an oil storage area. Oil storage area, storage tanks there. Okay, right next to it. Further over here, it's the same thing going on here. Yes, we have pumps and jacks. We also have storage tanks here. Okay, all throughout this area, guys. Look at this. This earthquake is just north of these storage tanks, just north of all of these oil and gas fracking plots here. Okay, all kinds of seismic activities happen here in Oklahoma. All kinds of it. Further over here to the west, Loyal, Oklahoma. Loyal, Oklahoma. Now, I have friends of mine here that are EMA friends, Emergency Management Associate friends. On Facebook Messenger, we have one of our dearest friends, Sharon. Sharon, you've seen her here in the chat before. She also has a Sleeping Volcano chat here, is on the chat as well. On our earthquake chat over a messenger, we just got through showing yesterday 10 earthquakes here near Loyal, Oklahoma. 10 earthquakes. They were between 2.4 minor earthquakes, and all of the rest of them were tremors. 1.0 to 1.9 tremors, all around Loyal, Oklahoma here. Oil and gas fracking operations. This is over in Loyal, Oklahoma, 9 miles southwest of Loyal, Oklahoma, 1.74 tremor here. 1.74 tremor here. Loyal, Oklahoma. Now again, why is USGS not showing us these earthquakes? Why? Inquiring minds want to know. Just southwest of Loyal, Oklahoma here, we have a major oil and gas pumping operation right there. A big deal. A great big deal. Let me show you what's going on here. Yes, we have pumps and jacks here. We also have oil storage going on here. Oil storage tanks here. This is well within that area between 6 to 10 miles away from that quake. There's more than that. South of that quake, there's another one right there. Let's zoom in on this. There's one storage tank here. Like I said, this is oil and gas. There are over 586,000 pumps and jacks in Oklahoma. 586,000 pumps and jacks here in Oklahoma. And USPS would have us believe nothing's really going on. Fascinating, but no cigar. 586,000 pumps and jacks in Oklahoma. You can only imagine how many are here in Texas. Let's go down here in southern Texas. I have friends that live here. I have a doctor friend that lives here, a surgeon. Down here, we're having earthquakes. Okay? This is a 2.0 minor earthquake near Purcell, Texas. Purcell, Texas. This is a 2.1 minor earthquake. This one is a 2.4 minor earthquake. Over here to the east, this is a 1.5 tremor here. Further to the west, another 1.7. Southern Texas, guys. Southern Texas. Let's zoom in here for kicks and giggles. See what we see. Let's look around this earthquake here. Right off the bat. Right after that. There is a pump and jack right there. That's a plot right there. All kinds of them right there as well. Now further north here, more. Pumps and jacks all over Texas. Over Texas. Around these earthquakes here, let's see what we have here. I don't see anyone really close to that earthquake fault or that earthquake there. But right down here, yes. Right there. Pumps and jacks going on here. Let's go over here. Look what we have here, guys. Pump and Jack City here. Right close to that earthquake. Pump and Jack. Down here. Now, guys, this is a place, a pond, where they store treated sewage. They inject these down into the wells to get oil and gas out of the wells. Now, it looks like this plot has been abandoned, but the storage pond is still here. Even though there is no pumps and jacks at a facility, does not mean there's no holes there. Does not mean there's no drill points. There are. Those drill points of the surface have been closed. What does this mean? Let me show you what it means. Some of these drill points go laterally along the surface like this, just beneath the surface. They go horizontally here. They also go perpendicular like this, perpendicular like this. They also go straight down. We've had earthquakes anywhere from 6 to 10 miles, almost straight across from the pump and jack, meaning they have drilled down and laterally across just beneath the surface to get to the oils in the rock. That's why we have earthquakes here. That's why we would have earthquakes here. All kinds of pumps and jacks, literally all over Texas. All over Texas. Up here in the north. Right here. Let's take a quick look here. Then we'll go over to southwestern Texas. Okay? We have a small cache of quakes here. Let's zoom in here. Right here, we are smack dab in the middle of an oil field. Smack dab in the middle of an oil field. You can see the pump and jack plots here. You can see the field here. Guys, this is a 1.1 tremor. To the southwest, this is also a 1.1 tremor. This is a 1.3. This is a 1.2. Tremors cannot normally be felt. But let me tell you this. They also lie about the strength of the quakes. They lie all the time about the strengths of the quakes. Why? Because heaven forbid they want to take any responsibility for what's going on. Back in the 30s and 40s, back in the 50s, when they were first drilling for oil here in Texas, the United States Geological Survey was founded. They were primarily looking for oil and gas fields all over the world, especially here in Texas. They expanded to more than just oil and gas. But here, they do not want to take responsibility for how strong these earthquakes are. As I said in Oklahoma, one of my friends in Oklahoma, I'm not going to mention her by name. I don't want to mention her by name, but she's well known by everybody in the EMA family. Very well known by the EMA family. She posted a bunch of earthquakes yesterday near where she lived in Oklahoma. She posted them and the USGS said they were tremors, minor tremors, 1.1, 1.2, 1.7, and I think there's one 2.0. Yeah. But she said they felt them. Their house was shaking. Their house was shaking, guys. Please, guys, please tell me what that means. Please tell me what that means. That only means that the agency is not telling the truth at all. Saying those earthquakes are just tremors. That's a complete out and out lie. That is a complete out and out falsehood. When somebody's house is shaking, it can't be a tremor. Tremors can't be felt. Minor earthquakes 2.0 to 2.9 can't be felt unless it's a very sensitive person. Most people are not even going to feel anything until it gets to be at least a 3.0 small quake. 3.0, 3.9 are small quakes. It's insane, guys. It's insane. Yes, these things are happening. These earthquakes are occurring. But people don't want to take responsibility for what's going on. They just honestly don't want to take responsibility for anything at all. Nothing. Not a thing. Now, do I hate that? Yes, I do. I hate it in the worst way. Why? Because people's lives hang on the line. People's lives hang on the line here. I'm not very good at this. I am not very good at saying they don't know what they're talking about. But they don't. They absolutely do not know what they're talking about. Now I got a slide I just downloaded here or uploaded. This is the same slide I talked to you about a few minutes ago. Okay. Again, the United States Geological Survey is not being in any way, shape, or form honest with anyone. They can't be. They can't be. When they're not reporting earthquakes and they show up anyway, what does that mean? What does it mean when they don't report earthquakes and there are earthquakes? This is just one of two slides I could put up here. Dibble, Oklahoma, we identified one earthquake in Dibble. 1.3 tremor here yesterday. Actually, this was January 29th. I'm sorry, January 29th. 1.5. 2.3 in Waynoka, Oklahoma. Sparks, Oklahoma. 1.4 tremor. Tishomingo, Oklahoma. 1.5. Dibble, Oklahoma. 2.0. Waynoka, Oklahoma. 1.0. They're not showing earthquakes, are they? Heaven forbid. Heaven forbid. They will not acknowledge the truth, nor will they ever tell the truth at all. Up here in the north, Stanton, Texas, 1.2 tremor. 1.2 in Ackley, Texas. 1.3 Ibanez, Texas. A year and a half ago, we had a 5.0 earthquake here in Stanton, Texas. These earthquakes probably are aftershocks from that 5.0 earthquake here near Stanton, Texas last year. Yeah. Oil and gas quakes. Southwestern Texas. And one earthquake in Carlsbad, New Mexico. This is the earthquake southwest of Carlsbad, New Mexico. This is a 3.1 small earthquake. South of New Mexico, southwestern Texas, oil and gas quakes. Oil and gas quakes. This red one. This is the 1.7 tremor here. 1.7 tremor here. Going north. This is a 1.8. This is a 1.7. Right here. 1.7 tremor. This is 1.8. This is a 1.8. This is a 1.1 tremor. This is a 1.6. Oil and gas, guys. Oil and gas all over this area. Oil and gas all over this area. Oil and gas fracking earthquakes in Texas. Okay? Now, Southern California is rocking as well. On Wednesday, we will be talking about earthquakes here in Southern California. There are all kinds of earthquakes here in Southern California. Los Angeles, we typically have 400 earthquakes a day here in Los Angeles. 400 a day. Look at the earthquakes here that they're showing on the map. This is typical about their denial. They don't show the earthquakes. They don't want to admit we have earthquakes here in Southern California. I have this conversation every day with people. people that call me, friends of mine, and other people that worried to find my number and ask me, Ron, what about earthquakes in Southern California? Again, I tell them what I'm telling you. There are more earthquakes here in Southern California than they're showing. This one off the coast south of Malibu. This is a 1.8 tremor here. Right next to it is a 1.2 tremor. Look where it's at. Look where these earthquakes are at. Right alongside the fault zone, just south of the fault zone. Incredible. Incredible. Minor earthquakes here, or I should say minor tremors here. Over towards LA. Wonderful thing. Baldwin Park. Baldwin Park. Interesting enough, a 0.9 microquake, allegedly 1 mile northwest of Baldwin Park. Interesting. Very interesting. Where's Baldwin Park, guys? Can anybody identify where Baldwin Park is? Burbank, Glendale, Pasadena, El Monte, where the fire was last year. Baldwin Park, guys. Baldwin Park. All kinds of oil and gas exploration going on here. All kinds of oil and gas explorations going on here. There's a huge field here, guys. I'm trying to find this huge field. Right here, Baldwin Park. Guys, right in this area. This used to be a huge mountainous region. Huge mountainous region. Now there are oil and gas pumping jacks, gas and oil pumps all over this area. They bulldozed the trees down. Now there are oil and gas pumps and jacks all over this area. That's why we continue to have earthquakes here. Oil and gas pumps all over this area, guys. Literally all over the area. They wonder why they have earthquakes. They wonder why they have earthquakes. They also wonder why the San Fernando Valley is sinking. They wonder why the San Fernando Valley is sinking. Because they've been pulling oil out of the Baldwin Hills pumping operation for years, decades. Now the San Fernando Valley is sinking. Unreal, huh? That's why. Now, guys, so you'll know, earlier this afternoon before I went on this program, I got a call from Sage Pup. Sage Pup lives over here near Santa Barbara, California. He wanted me to tell everybody hi. Sage Pup has been one of my dearest friends for years. He wanted everybody to know that he was alive. He's doing fairly well. He may have cancer now. The company he works for is so freaking dishonest, it's not funny. He doesn't make that much money, but he had some health issues that were being addressed by insurance. His company called the state and told him that he was making all kinds of money, which he is not. Working his tail off, but not making that much money at all. But they called the state. The state said, oh, he makes too much money so they made sure his insurance went away. Unreal. Unreal. That's what happens when dishonest people get in charge. But Sage Pup wanted me to tell you hi. He loves you all. Sage Pup loves you all. Yes, we have earthquakes, you guys. Like I said, 400 earthquakes a day here in this area. Yet USGS tries to sum it off as nothing. Nothing's going on. Here in Anaheim, just northwest of Anaheim, they're showing one earthquake. 1.3 here near Yorba Linda, California. Yorba Linda has been having an earthquake here in Yorba Linda every day now for a week. This is a 1.2 tremor here in Yorba Linda. Again, they've been having earthquakes here in Yorba Linda for a week, every day. They're not showing any earthquakes here in Anaheim. That's also fallacy. They have tremors here all day long, literally tremors all day long. They have minor earthquakes as well, 2.0 to 2.6 earthquakes here all day long here in Anaheim, California. I show you the seismograph, which is a computer readout. The computer readout from the seismograph itself, the computer, showing all kinds of earthquakes here in Anaheim. Sometimes even up to 3.2 earthquakes here, where they have to stop the rides at Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm, to inspect the roller coaster tracks to make sure it's safe. Yeah. Long Beach here. Long Beach here. All kinds of earthquakes here as well. But they don't show earthquakes here at all here on the map. Why not? Inquiring minds want to know. Why not? All over Los Angeles, Santa Monica, downtown Los Angeles, out here in Pasadena, Santa Clarita. This whole area, guys, this whole area has earthquakes, yet USGS doesn't want to talk about it. Heaven forbid. Heaven forbid. That's why at least once a week I try to show you earthquakes happening here. Southwest of Corona, California. This is a 1.4 tremor here. We normally have tremors and minor earthquakes here in this area, just southwest or southeast of Corona, California. Every day. Every day. Up here in the north, northeast of Ontario, Little Creek, California, 1.1 tremor here. This is a 0.8 near Fontana, a microquake near Fontana. That's interesting. Fontana not just has microquakes, they just don't have microquakes. Guess what? They have full-blown tremors, they have full-blown minor earthquakes. Guess what? Fontana's been having small 3.0 to 3.5 earthquakes as well, every day. Every day. And yet today, USGS tries to pawn off a microquake here in Fontana. They have dozens of microquakes here in Fontana, dozens of them. This area of Fontana, California, is right next to the San Jacinto Fault. Right next to the San Jacinto Fault to the east. What is just east of there? The San Andreas. The San Andreas Fault. Highland, California, Redlands, Yucaipa, they all have earthquakes as well. And USGS rarely even talks about that. Rarely. Again, I'm going to tell you this. The San Andreas Fault is locked and loaded here. The San Andreas Fault right here is locked and loaded, guys. We are expecting an 8.0 earthquake to happen here any day now. Any day now. There's someone else on Facebook talking about earthquakes happening on Sundays. Talking about a 7.0 earthquake here in Los Angeles every Sunday for the past 5 years. Yeah. A guy here on Facebook says there's going to be a 7.0 earthquake here in Los Angeles every Sunday. It's never happened. It has never happened, guys. But we know that the San Andreas Fault is locked and loaded. It's literally when. We don't know when, but it is literally when. Not if, but when this fault goes. And when the San Andreas Fault goes, this fault will be felt. This earthquake fault will be felt up and down the San Andreas Fault. Up and down the San Andreas Fault all the way into southern Mexico, or northern Mexico. All the way down here in northern Mexico. And all the way up here into Northern California here. Probably all the way up here to San Luis Obispo. Probably all the way up here to San Luis Obispo. Where today, we have a 1.7 tremor here near Atascadero, California. 1.7 here in Atascadero. They're not showing any earthquakes along the San Andreas Fault until we get up here towards Monterey Bay. The Pinnacles here. The Pinnacles here just south of Salinas is an oil and gas place as well as the San Andreas Fault. Here in the Pinnacles, we're having a 1.1 tremor here. Right next to it, another 1.2 tremor. Up here, going north on the Hayward. This is 1.2 here near Gustine, California. Gustine, California. Gustine, California. Going north here. Wesley, California. A 2.0 earthquake here. 2.0 earthquake here, east of San Jose. And again over here, right between the Hayward and the Calaveras. Right between the Hayward and the Calaveras here in San Ramon. We had a 4.5 earthquake here today. They downgraded to 4.2. That's a travesty. That's a travesty. When we first started this program, this is where I began. We had 3 earthquakes at that time that were brand new. Look at all the earthquakes here now. Look at all the earthquakes here now. This one, a 3.0 earthquake. This is a 2.5. This is a 1.8. This one up to the north, a 2.0. This is a 2.9, 3.0. This is a 1.5. And this is a 2.4 minor earthquakes. 2.0, 2.9 are minor earthquakes. 1.0 to 1.9 are tremors. This area is again rocking and rolling in San Ramon, California. This is where we start. This is where we end this conversation tonight. Does anybody have any questions for me? Does anybody have any questions for me? I want to make sure we explain everything very well. I don't like to leave anything undone. I want to thank all of our mods for being here. I want to thank everybody, all of our EMA family members for being here. Now, on Saturday morning, I tried to have a members only meeting, but YouTube wouldn't let me be a member. Okay? They did even show my members only meeting to even the members, not even me. So I shut it down and I had a regular meeting. We talked about the snow that was happening here on the East Coast. 42 minutes I was active on that meeting. Over 1,700 people saw that meeting. 1,700 people saw that meeting. I think it was 1,753 or people had tuned into that meeting. That was huge. Talking about the snow on the East Coast. We hope to have that again very soon. Maybe Thursday this week we can have another members only meeting. Do we have any questions here? I want to open this up to questions. Any questions from anybody here about anything? I know I spent the last little while, I didn't want to spend this long, but I spent a good hour and a half talking about earthquakes tonight. Well, first started this conversation, I didn't feel well. I feel a little bit better, but I don't feel that good right now. I want to thank everybody for being here. My buddy Demon Catman is here in the chat. He's one of our mods here. He's a great friend of ours. Very, very dear friend of ours. He's asking everybody, please, if you want to make donations here, go to our PayPal locations. Our PayPal locations that are scrolling across the bottom of the screen right here. Okay, go to our PayPal locations and make donations. We appreciate that. Also, our email is going across the screen. rltnspdema@gmail.com. Send us comments and questions about our program, or even ideas on what you'd like to see on our program. We'll put those on the program as well. And I promise I return comments on our email. If you email me, I return the email promptly. We also have our address here, our postal address here. 504 Bethel Road, Box 401. Morganton, North Carolina, Morganton, North Carolina. The zip code here is 28655. We appreciate that, okay? We haven't had many letters or cards in a very long time. We'd appreciate that, guys. The last time we got a card or letter was at Christmas time. Inside your cards and letters, you can also stick a check or a cash donation and mail it to us. We get those things in our mail. We'd love to see it. Not just donation, we'd love to see a letter telling us what your family's doing, what you're doing in the way of preparedness as well. We'd love to get to know you. Send us a letter or a card and tell us how you're doing. Tell us what you're doing to prepare as well. We'd love to hear from you. Now, guys, I love you. I care about you or would not even be here. Okay? I started this program nearly 7 years ago. April 3rd this year will be 7 years. Go figure. How time flies when you're having fun. How time flies when you're having fun. Again, I would not be here if it wasn't for all of you. All of you that watch this program and give us help and also help other EMA family members here. You do that. We love it. We love the idea of helping each other. Now, before I leave, I want to leave you something good. We talk about earthquakes. We talk about all kinds of negative things happen in our world. Yes, they're happening. Riots, plundering, all kinds of manner of evil going on around us. At the end of our program, we'll try to leave you with a thought. Tonight, I'm going back in the New Testament. I'm going over to Colossians chapter 3. I'm going over to verse 17, specifically verse 17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord. Do all in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God and the Father by him. Let's do that. Let's make sure we give thanks to God through his Son, Jesus Christ. Guys, and if some of you didn't tune into our Sunday school class yesterday, we talked about how the Lord blessed Adam and Eve and their posterity. God continues to hear and answer prayers today. He continues to bless us today. I promise you that he will bless you as well. Turn to him in prayer. Turn to him in prayer. Give thanks for what he's given you. Then ask him for the things you stand in need of. Ask him in the name of his Son, Jesus Christ. I promise you in the name of Jesus Christ, his Son, that he will bless you in your lives and your families. May God bless you this night. May God fully bless you. You may feel his hands upon you. You may feel his arms around you, holding you, keeping you up. Yes, he's doing that. He's doing that. Brothers and sisters, I love you. Hurricane Heather says, Sir loves rocks and trains. Yes, I do. I do love rocks and trains. I have a rock collection here. Demon Catman this Christmas sent us some more rocks for our collection. Obsidian, which we greatly appreciate, Dean. Appreciate it. Some of the rest of you also gave us Christmas cards and letters and gifts. We appreciate that. Trish and Rich, thank you. God bless you all. I want to thank those of you that also gave us donation in the Silver Chat tonight. And those of you who will go over to our PayPal locations and give us donations tonight. I want to thank you ahead of time. May God bless you. May God hold you in the palm of his hands and lift you up. May God bless all of you who are sick and afflicted. We have many of our family members here. Linda Covington, Trish and Rich Killian, Hurricane Heather, Renee Seppi, my buddy Don Patoka and myself, and many others that we don't know about. We need God's blessings for us. Please pray for all of us, guys. Please pray for our entire family here. Please pray for our entire family. May God bless you. May God be with you and hold you in his hands. God be with you until we meet again. We'll see you on the other side. Have a good night, everybody. Much love. And we do love you. Good night.
Here at Emergency Management Associates, we're dedicated and true, bringing you the essential knowledge, helping you see things through. From disaster preparedness to navigating recoveries and inspires us. Your feedback acts as a guiding light, helping us continually grow and making our channel's future bright. We're always learning, always striving to be better. Bring you the most up-to-date information, no matter the weather. Emergency Management Associates is here for you now and forever, it's true. Keep watching, keep learning, because we truly appreciate all that you do. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We love you. Please know that. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good night.